series. I have changed the series. It is Happiness and Wisdom. You see, when your mind, now we are going deeper step by step. These sessions, Mondays and Thursdays sessions are very interesting, but if you pick up in every session the message, it is going to transform. So you see, it's such a simple way. I will always do what I'm supposed to do, whether I like or dislike. What I'm not supposed to do, I will never do. That is the sign of mature mind. That is the mental maturity. And that mental maturity kicks the intellect with the wisdom, happiness and wisdom. Initially, we discussed about what is happiness, what is wisdom, and how they are related to each other. But now I'm just giving a sense of it. So, how to help to reach to a state of mental maturity? You know, we talk a lot. You know, there should be a self acceptance and etc. I will always do what I'm supposed to do, whether I like it or I dislike. There is a mental maturity. In that mental maturity, there is a self acceptance. You start loving yourself. Are you getting it? So, in that, when you start loving yourself, mature mind grows, evolves, and awakens. Why it grows, evolves, and awakens? Because it confirms to the universal consciousness indirectly. Example, I'm supposed to wake up in the morning and I don't do it. Example, I don't do it. I'm supposed to give a session. I should be in time, but I'm not. Then I miss that choiceless awareness. I don't conform to the universal consciousness. It is not giving a lesson. I don't conform to that universal consciousness. And then what happens? Then I want to correct. I have a lot of excuses. I want to modify. We have a lot of actions to choose from when I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do. So I have a lot of actions in my mind which results into anxiety, duality, conflict. You are always doing what you are supposed to do. You are spontaneous. Now I'm using another, happiness and wisdom. Topic is the same. You are spontaneous. Are you getting it? If I like, I will do it. If I don't like it, I will not do it. So that liking and disliking coming from the impulsive mind, it will have its own series of feelings and emotions and thoughts, actions, likes and dislikes, attachment, pleasure-seeking desire, greed, and then we have hesitation, delusion, pride, jealousy. That is the series. I'm saying simple thing. I believe you all have been applying these principles in your daily life, but don't start teaching the near and dear ones. I'm warning you. You'll have a lot of challenges then. What will happen that one day you will leave this session, nothing is happening. But yes, If you want to teach, yes, you teach little far ones, but you apply that wisdom in your daily life with the near and dear ones. And it will take you to a higher. So is it not a mathematics of Eastern wisdom? Our goal is to find that real self. So, real self is always spontaneous. So, you prepare the mind. How you prepare the mind? You make the mind mature. And the mature mind grows, evolves, and one day it awakens. We'll talk later that this conformed to the universal consciousness with a small act is what is known as the dharma in Eastern wisdom. We'll talk later. Buddha also talks about it. So now so I use the wisdom, I use the intellect. Now my intellect is free, mind is mature, so mind is not dictating over the intellect. Oh, look at this guy, I'm jealous, I hate this guy. That sense is not there. Now the intellect is ready to pursue. Intellect, we get a wisdom. So what is in an apple that is not in an Android phone? Just giving one example. I'm just giving one example. Only one thing, Apple is Apple and Android is Android. Outer covering. Do I like, yep, yes. Do I like Apple? Yes. What about Android? It is okay. Okay, if Android is okay, then I will always use Android. My preferences are based on the likes and dislikes, not using the intellect. Oh, everyone is using the Apple, so I should also, at least, people will see that, I'm using an iPhone. I'm going little deeper. I like Stephen. Now apply the same logic. I like Stephen. I don't like I like everyone, so I'm not naming any person. So there has to be a sense of mental maturity conforming to the universal consciousness all the time, 24 by 7. You will be spontaneous throughout the day. In that spontaneity, will you have any anxiety, duality, and a conflict? And you will evolve. Let me give another example, little deeper, but you will get it. One I am and one is Stephen. So 1 plus 1 is 2. That is our modern mathematics. But Eastern wisdom mathematics, 1 plus 1 is always 1. We look at the essence. We don't look at a person as an object. There are two waves. Essence is the water. So essence is 1. So 1 plus 1 is 1. There are not two. 1 plus 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. 1 plus 9 people, mathematics 10, essence is 1. That essence is rediscovered. It is already there, but it is rediscovered. That rediscovery is what we say the spiritual consciousnesses. Are you getting it? I'm putting everything very logically, mathematically. So 1 plus 9 is not 10. 1 plus 9 is 1. Essence is 1. So when we have a mental immaturity, means anxiety, duality, conflict, I see the duality, I see the separation. What about 2 plus 2? Yes, in mathematics it is 4, but 2 plus 2 is still 1 in an essence. Essence is 1. 2 waves plus 6 waves, 8 waves, yes. But essence is the water, it is only 1. So my intellect awakens to that perception. I will not talk in detail today. That perception is known as the third eye. It is not that you have a physical third eye, it is wisdom, the highest level of a wisdom. You live into that. It is your experience. It is your experience. So in the last session, we understood happiness and wisdom are complementary. So we are talking here that how that wisdom leads me to the state of happiness, and how the happiness also awakens that wisdom. That wisdom. Should I give another example? I go to Phoenix, it is almost 30 miles from here. I go to Phoenix to buy happiness in a restaurant. Did you understand? And you come to Gilbert to buy happiness in a restaurant. Just take an example. Did you understand? So when you talk to your honey to buy happiness, one day you will like someone else. Are you getting it? You will surely like someone else. I can bet you. We understand. We understand it very clearly. Especially if you encounter any masters of Eastern wisdom, they will understand. They will not say anything. Did you understand that point? Steve, I go to Phoenix to buy happiness in a restaurant. You come to Gilbert to buy happiness in a restaurant. It is based on mental immaturity. It doesn't mean that I should not go. No, go there. But remove that conformity. Don't conform to likes and dislikes, and you are free. There is a mental maturity. Go anywhere, wherever you want. It has a very deeper consequences in our behavior, in our attitude, in our personality. And why? Because that wisdom is spontaneous. That wisdom is spontaneous in our life, and it changes. Happiness and wisdom. I converted that entire series of 40 steps into happiness and wisdom. Think, imagine happiness as the vibrant colors in the painting, and wisdom as the underlying structure, giving it a form and the depth. That is the journey of awakening and realization. If the wisdom is not there, it will be replaced by a lot of rituals, unconscious, impulsive nature, habit. No, I've been doing the practice. What happened? Where is your wisdom? You're lacking the wisdom. Nothing will happen. Very clear. At a higher level. In the beginning, we entice, we lure seekers, do this practice, something will happen. But ultimately, the Eastern wisdom is based on knowledge. Knowledge of this real self awakens you. So now take an example. Same example. I go to Phoenix to buy happiness. You come to Gilbert to buy happiness. Huh? What is the state of the mind? It is like a ship without a rudder. Happiness without wisdom is easily swayed by the external circumstances. It is like chasing fleeting butterflies, exciting but ultimately unsatisfying. Shallow and unsustainable joy in my life because I'm going outside to buy happiness. Without wisdom, it is going to backfire. And then we say, my honey is not good and my food is not good. And long list. You see, unwanted thought enters into your mind. You don't have a state of choiceless awareness. You are not spontaneous because you don't conform to universal consciousness. From where it starts, with the knowledge, with wisdom, with understanding. What I'm supposed to do, I must do. What I'm not supposed to do, I will not do. Finished. Here it begins. That is the wisdom, happiness. You feel the joy, happiness. Happiness vitalizes the wisdom. Wisdom grounds your happiness. Are you getting it? Understand, we all have to reach to that state. You will become a center, one center each nearby, one center around your neighbors, around your friends, around your relations, around in your profession, everywhere. That is what my master used to say. He says, I only need one person to reach to that state, to understand it clearly. It will happen. So we have to integrate this happiness and wisdom. I discussed briefly about this, how this mental maturity helps my intellect to remain free. In that intellect, it confirms to the universal consciousness, or you can say the universal act or universal consciousness, that is known as the dharma. We don't say religion. Dharma is literally translated universal consciousness. What I'm supposed to do, I must do it. What I'm not supposed to do, I should never do it. So small action. Happiness and wisdom are the two wings of the bird. If I want to fly, do you see that? Reflect on it. Let me ask you a question. Where do you see an imbalance between the happiness and the wisdom? Where you are attached? Where you have a strong likes and dislikes? I told you, honey, that I don't like this, and still you are doing. Let him or her do whatever they. How does your pursuit of happiness sometimes hinder your ability to gain wisdom? That happiness is pleasure. Pleasure is based on likes and dislikes. It's a sign of mental immaturity. You are caught. No, I'll not talk about that guy. So, How can you incorporate more wisdom into your daily experiences to enhance your overall happiness? Reflect on this. Don't go, don't start running after buying happiness, but incorporate more wisdom into your daily life to enhance your overall happiness. Very practical. Let me hold on. I have an anxiety against you. Let me hold on. One plus one is not two, it is only one. I'm just giving a problem and a solution also. So it means you should have a question to ask to live in choiceless awareness. I'm hitting the target at a very high level. What are the some specific actions you can take today to cultivate both happiness and wisdom? Father was very much worried. He is only about 16 years old. He contacted me, and then there were some problems in the conflicting conflict between the parents, and a lot of struggle. And at last, they are divorcing. So now, modern perspective. I won't use otherwise with a disclaimer. Modern perspective. No, no, it's because of the parents are fighting. So the guy, this 16-year-old guy, young guy, very intelligent, very wise, he has stopped going to the school. So now there is a school refusal program. We have all kinds of program in US. You can think of anything. School refusal program. So they asked me, should he join? I said, let him join everything, but let him also join my program. I will talk to him. No, I don't want to do anything, Now I don't want to go to the school. Think in terms of the wisdom. I have to awaken the wisdom. I have not to force to attend the school refusal program. So we already had two lessons. He said, I don't want to do anything. I said, you are talking, you are doing something. How many times you went to the washroom? 3 times. How many times you have taken your meal? 2 times. I said, you are doing something. You said that you don't want to do anything. So you are stuck to not going to the school. I'm not saying don't go to the school. So in 2 sessions, then it stuck to him. Wisdom is very important. Knowledge is very important. I told him that I'm not going to talk to you. I'm not going to push you to go to the school. And gradually, and I said, oh no, my dad and mom, they are fighting against each other. Can you do anything? No. Why you worry? It conforms to the same universal consciousness. What I'm supposed to do, I must do it. What I'm not supposed to do, I should refrain. So find out what are the some specific actions that you can take today, every day, to cultivate both happiness and wisdom in your life. You're unhappy, lack of wisdom. Did you understand? You're unhappy with me. No. You're going to Phoenix to buy happiness. Don't come to me. Wisdom, lack of wisdom. That is what the self-discovery means. I'm just giving, I have to give you a lot of metaphors to help you. How can you share your wisdom and happiness with others in a meaningful way? meaningful way with the near and dear ones. It took me almost 15 years, 20 years. If I say, I should not say, but to be accepted with the near and dear ones. My maternal uncle, uh, he saw me when I was in 20s. My mother's brother, he is still alive. Oh, you have written books, I don't believe it. Send me the book. So I have to spend $100 to send all those books to India. Anyhow, he's very intellectual, so he read it, he's retired, and then he said, "Oh, really?" Still, there is no total acceptance. He said, your dad is very wise, so that's why that gene is there. That gene is there. Don't get upset. Don't get upset. I can tell you a lot of. My master gave me this secret. He said, never, ever. But yes, when it comes to the outer, from the outer to the inner, the nearest, and then you are already living in the wisdom, so it will help you. There is an escape route. What is an escape route? So that is what I told my master that I also want to become a monk. He said, "Stop this nonsense." But you are a monk. I said, I was 13 years old. I was not mature. My master gave me this loin cloth, and I wore it. And now I need not to drop it. So my master says this, for 90% of the people, this is an escape route. They don't want to confront with the real life situations in a family, in the world outside, so they become a monk. It does not mean, I'm not saying that there are great monks. Dalai Lama is there. Rare, rare people. Think. Think of this, my friend. Think of this. Daily study of Eastern wisdom. What I'm supposed to do. You have a choice. What I'm not supposed to do. You have a choice. What misconceptions about myself or life, you can remove it by studying Eastern wisdom. How do I apply the Eastern wisdom teaching in daily challenges? We move to the second step, performing ordained duties. Happiness, yeah, I'm unhappy, lack of wisdom. Lack of wisdom, so I think, I contemplate and reflect. Intellect is always available. In that light, you start reflecting these 8 steps. And then, make that 1 + 1 is always 1. No, it is 2. Why it is 2? Because I'm jealous of you, because I like you, because I hate you, because I dislike you. So then on 1 + 1 is always 2. In a sense, we are 1. Okay. In a sense, third step, dedicating actions. Think, think. My master used to say, contemplate. He used to say, in Hindi, we say vichar, vichar, vichar. Vichar means thinking, contemplation, and reflection. Fourth, Now, what happens once you follow the first three steps? That wisdom says, I need not to go to Phoenix to buy happiness. Fourth step. That is why. It does not mean that I'm not going, but my mind is very clear. My mind is pure, it is choiceless awareness. Whether I eat in Phoenix or in Gilbert, it hardly makes a difference. Let us go there for your sake, because you say that, it gives the good food. Oh, let us go there. Finished. Are you getting it? This is the real meaning of leaving home. Internally. Giving up the desire prompted activities is the fourth step. And because you follow the four steps, you don't accumulate sins. What is accumulating sin? Creating an unfavorable circumstance. Why don't you listen to me? Don't listen to me. It's better, Let I listen to myself. I feel concerned about him or her, I don't want to name, I met in New Jersey, person is here, but that person claims that I'm more intelligent. Well, how come I'm more intelligent? Because you are crazy. I recognized it. Is that a wisdom? It will create an unfavorable situation in your life. Definitely. And that is I'm witnessing. I'm proving that Eastern wisdom is true. So the fifth one, uprooting the sense. You are already removing those unfavorable conditions in your life. It removes obstacles, creates harmony. Why? Because you purify the mind. Why? Because there is a mental maturity. Because you use that wisdom. You give me what are your unfavorable situations in your life. You will find it is because of the lack of wisdom, or one of these five factors is missing. Now you see that you have removed those unfavorable conditions from your life. That is the step number 5. In the step number 6 is recognizing the defects in the worldly pleasures. It does not mean that I don't engage myself in those pleasure, but I recognize the defect. Pleasure is short-lived. Second, pleasure is not there, it is in me. Lot of stuff that we are going to talk in detail. So recognizing the defects in the worldly pleasure. Simple, happiness and wisdom, complementary. I get upset because of something outside. Let me apply the wisdom. I'm applying the wisdom and I'm experiencing happiness. Done. 7th step, strengthening desire for self-realization. Then what happens? In that state of mental maturity, your intellect is constantly seeking the real self for the sake of happiness and wisdom, for the sake of love. You don't love me. The guy cannot, he or she does not have love. How he or she can love you? No, we normally talk, and sometimes we talk in a fake way. Honey, I love you so much. I love you so I love you so much, but my mind is attracted to someone else. It's a different thing. So, why you are not attracted to everyone? That is wisdom. 1 + 1 is 1. That is why I gave you a couple of metaphors to understand today's session. So in the 7th step, what happens? Your mind, you wake up in the morning, It is full of wisdom. You sleep at night, it is full of wisdom. You're communicating to someone, it is with the wisdom. You're a higher level of a seeker. You're ready to step into the journey of realizing that real self. So, summary of all the 7 steps is the 8th step. You remember the 8th step, leave home. Leave home of that mind which created a series of attachments, duality, conflict, anger, hesitation, all those impressions are there. You have left that home. What attachments am I consciously dropping? Are you aware? No, 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 I'm attached, because that guy is crazy. That craziness doesn't come to your mind. 1 plus 1 is 1. You refrain from it, because if you say he is crazy, it means I am also. What challenges arise in your mind, letting go is not possible. How do I maintain balance between happiness and the wisdom? Or you can say, how can I maintain the balance between the detachment and duty? You know what is this? We'll talk in detail in future sessions. That is emotional resilience. That is emotional quotient. We are not giving you 10 questions to find out how much emotional quotient you have. You live into it, you experience it. They are good. Everything is good in science, emotional quotient, let me apply the battery. Battery means the psychological questions. Christina knows very well. We apply those. Oh, you have very low EQ. No, it is not. It doesn't work that way. Think. So our future sessions will also be deeper like this. If you are what I'm supposed to do, if you are not doing, it will hurt you in the beginning. Or you will say, oh, there is nothing, he's teaching the same thing. Why is teaching the same thing? The mind is habitual and impulsive. Close your eyes. Eyes are closed. Eyes are closed. Place position in the posture. Are you ready for meditation? Please, instantly your mind becomes aware of the place. Sometimes what happens, my friends, that you are sitting and the mind is constantly visiting because of that place. And so it gets worried about where I'm sitting. So don't get into that. Okay. And then position, posture. We all are seekers, so I don't need to spend so much of time being comfortable, and carefree. Comfortable? Do you remember remember means the wisdom point? Oh, is the mind looking inside? Has it changed the direction or not? Carefree, has it separated itself from all the crazy thoughts or good thoughts or bad thoughts, what we're feeling, emotions, sensations? Yes, I'm carefree. Finished. Okay, then look at the flow of the breath. Flow of the breath, flow of the breath. And I told you a couple of things to watch in the flow of the breath. So, on one hand, you are keeping the mind in the present with the flow of the breath, and you become aware of the neighbor number one from outside, the world outside. Worldly desires, defects in the worldly desires. And I give you a good metaphor. You have to contemplate and find out minimum 10 examples in your life. What is that metaphor? To buy happiness, I go to Phoenix and you come to Gilbert. To buy happiness. Neighbor one. The world of people, place, time, relations. Mind becomes so light. Second neighbor, physical body. Now you see, we are taking in a physical, in a very positive way. I've been talking all. Why negative? Because we have to negate in the beginning in meditation. If you don't negate, you will not reach to that state. Very subtle point. Physical body, physical body. Oh, body is a means to awaken myself. Positive. The body of an ant or an elephant or a lion cannot awaken to their true nature, even if they have it. Only the human body. Do you see what I'm saying today? Breathing, energy, the third neighbor. Oh, life manifests that consciousness. And because that manifestation of the consciousness, I feel the sensation, I have the thought and feeling. Okay. Oh, so it is also required. Mind, pain and pleasure gives me the contrast. Now you take it in a positive way. Oh, the pain is there. Use the wisdom. Pleasure is there. Use the wisdom. Why? To transcend the mind? Intellect and I thought in sleep, this I thought dies completely. I continue to exist. It means I am different from the I thought. You see that I made everything positive today. And then still we have an ignorance. I don't recognize Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. May there be happiness for all. Now, can you use another metaphor? Mathematics metaphor? 1 plus 1 is 1, 1 plus 9 is 1, 2 plus 10 is 1. May there be happiness for all. You look at the beauty of the wisdom, how masters teaches. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. May there be peace for all. Same metaphor. Yes, you can share your experiences after the practice if you have not understood 1 plus 10 is 1. Peace is my essential nature. So it is the essential nature of every being on this planet or in the entire cosmos. But why and how come? Millions of waves, essence is water. We are not looking at the name and the form. Sarvesham, Sarvesham, Purnam Bhavatu, Sarvesham, Purnam Bhavatu, Sarvesham, Purnam Bhavatu, wholeness. Oh, last, I would say, last 4 or 5 steps out of the 8 steps pertains to the sense of completeness, sense of wholeness. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu, Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. May there be a spaciousness for all. In deep sleep, I thought is not there, but another I that continues to exist because I woke up today in the morning after a deep sleep. That confirms. Do the inquiry through the intellect and we understand it. I understand, but still my mind doesn't believe it. That is why we need a mental maturity. Are you getting it? So, looking inside the forehead in the space, Shanti, and start breathing into the rib cage, long, deep in the hissing breath. Equal breath. A total expansion and contraction of the rib cage in both inhalation and exhalation. You experience through the contraction and expansion of the rib cage. It is nothing to do with the fire breath or breath of fire. Shanti continues. Endurance, joy of doing. So one master I learned from one master a very interesting thing. We know that at present we cannot do for 10 minutes or 9 minutes. It becomes a challenge, or we can do it, but we feel there is still some kind of resistance. But the first 2 or 3 minutes is okay. So that master used to say, when that is okay, stop it. So you stop breathing, look at the breath, become aware of the flow of the breath, and in that flow of the breath, change the rate in the rhythm of the breath. You start breathing deep, long, silent breath. Every breath becomes deeper, and your mind moves with the breath from the top center of the head to the tailbone, singing mentally, Shanti, while breathing out. Shanti, and the mind moves from the tailbone to the top of the breath. So that master has, that is also true. If we have enough mental maturity and we recognize, then it is possible. We can get rid of those 9 minutes or 10 minutes of the practice. But it demands a greater level of maturity of the mind plus the wisdom. Did you get an answer why that guy did not practice this meditation and he reached to that state? Very subtle journey. And I've been doing it, I did not reach anywhere. Continue. You're breathing deep, silent, and slow. Driving Om Shanti, mind moving along with the spine from the top center of the head to the tailbone, from the tailbone to the center of the head. So, when you have understood the principles and you have understood the wisdom, you have started applying that wisdom in your daily life, even the tougher meditation practices becomes a play and a fun. And now, looking at the 16 segments of fingers, drop the Om Shanti to all the 16 segments of fingers. It means we are aware, the wisdom part. Oh, all the senses are living within the mind. From there, my mind touches, my mind hears, my mind speaks, but everything is happening inside the mind. The sensation of touch is also felt by the mind. Om Shanti, Om Shanti. And you see that there will be a deeper self absorption today. So, when you are doing on your own daily and regularly, you will recognize which steps the mind fully accepts and it wants to get absorbed by that state. Follow that. But if you strictly adhere to what I'm saying without the wisdom, then it is a ritual. And now, looking deep inside the heart, Visualize the triangle of any color. Move the mind on a triangle, driving Om Shanti on each side, clockwise and anti-clockwise. And the moment you discover a sync, push the mind by singing Om deep inside the cave of your heart. Recognize the mind seems to stop, you drop. Say Shanti and finish. You are not doing anything in after that. Means the doer is not there. Go to the third step out of the 8 steps. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your awareness on the right hand, your awareness on the left hand. Lift your both the palms, place it on your eyes, open the eyes inside the palms, know your experiences. Bring the hands down. We'll share our experiences. Now it's all your turn to say, how are you, Stephen?
Excellent. Thank you. I found today's lesson to be quite impactful, especially the 1 + 1 = 1. It just really brings out my feeling about how simple this is and how complicated we make it. And the impact that it had on me when I went into my meditation, it was the idea that how important it is to lean on the wisdom constantly. And during my meditation, when I felt the changes that were going on, whether it be the body temperature, whether it would be the entry of a thought or whatever it is, I used the concept of the wisdom as a trigger for myself, and it just seemed to immediately stop and not give any power to whatever was going on, and it led to a much deeper experience, to where I knew where I was, and I just kept feeling more and more absorbed into the quietness. And when you started chanting the Om Shanti to come out of it, it was as if it was reversing, and I was coming back up out of that quietness, and just recognized every step of the way, but gave it no merit other than what it is. So thank you.
Beautiful. You see that we have to watch the entire animal kingdom are programmed by the nature. Even if they are more intelligent than us, only thing that we have is the self-awareness. When I say apply wisdom, tell your pet, hey dog, apply the wisdom. Don't you see that I'm talking? Calm down. Not possible. Even if you train too much, it is not possible. You keep the bite and you say, dog, my pet, calm down. So now he is only focused here. We have an ability to withdraw from that. That is what the self-awareness, practical example of self-awareness, that changes the whole life. How are you, Samir?
Sir, I think as we keep on progressing, the wisdom comes into play in each and every moment of our life or daily routine. Supposing we are discussing something, so if I want to avoid or I don't want to speak, but some discussion of discernment or dispassions automatically comes out of my mouth,
Yeah,
and some people start saying, "Oh, you are becoming like that," and which means you have to avoid all these things. But it becomes spontaneous in your means,
yeah,
because that is going on in your mind, so automatically it will come in your mouth. So it is
yeah.
means
You are touching upon something important. When we do the repeat practice, listening and learning, contemplation and reflection, the intellect is becoming clear, mental maturity takes place. Now you are in a situation Previously, you fought with it, but now that wisdom is present in you. So the response with the discernment and dispassion comes, and it takes your life to the next level of awareness, next level of evolution. Yes, this is what exactly you're saying it. And it is, but you see from where the wisdom comes, that is the real self. At present, we are talking of the intellect and applying those wisdom. But in the end, what is the source? Consciousness. That is where we are heading to. Very good. How are you, Dennis? Then we'll go, yeah.
Thank you for the lesson. I will definitely remember the Eastern wisdom math of 1 + 1 = 1. And yes, indeed, the oneness is behind every manifestation. So whenever the mind tries to divide this oneness into pieces, then I have to remind myself that this piece and that piece are one, in fact.
Yes. Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
and my meditation was very absorbed and deep. Thank you.
Beautiful. Yes. Even if you remember 1 + 1 is always 1. Why is it not 1? Ah, you think that you're more smart than me. Now 1 + 1 is 2. Always 2. Rather than 1 + 1, 1 + 1 has become 3. The one that I saw you yesterday because you agreed to me, one that you totally disagreed with me, so 1 + 1 + 1 is 3. I'm giving another mathematical equation to you, Dennis. So let us see that we are fragmented. The moment you are fragmented, it's a lack of wisdom, happiness will escape. How are you, David and Jerry?
Good morning. Thank you. Lesson was very good. Kind of a combination of what Stephen said about applying wisdom during the meditation and Samid. And the vision I have is kind of what you described as a bird with a happiness wing and a wisdom wing. And the bird, will start to soar when both are in sync. So that's how I went into my meditation today. And it was very, very deep. Thank you.
Beautiful. Yes. You start with the wisdom. That is the first wing of a bird. If you think that I am the bird, you start with the wisdom. The other wing automatically will start helping. It will come into play. Happiness within. If you start searching the happiness within, it will raise your self-awareness. They both are complementary. But 8 steps to reach there. How are you, Jerry?
So kind of in line with everyone that spoke so far, that it's very clear that the wisdom gets applied, or the opportunity to apply it is every moment of every day. And so we don't have to schedule it. We don't have to make sure we have enough time in our day. We don't have to go get away to apply it and reflect. If we're doing that, then we're missing it, because every day we get to do that. And then I had an opportunity to kind of see where I was stuck and apply it and ask myself, well, what's going on? Is it the ego? Am I attached? Yeah. And I could see that it's in regard to a relationship, and relationships are constantly changing, ebbing and flowing. And if I expect that it's going to be a certain way, then I set myself up for disappointment. And with that realization, which I already know that that's changing, but in an area I was stuck to want it to be a certain way and have a component that it doesn't have. So there's freedom.
Yeah, you are right. I was stuck. Simple answer, lack of wisdom. So where the wisdom is required, let me apply it. Finished. It is so simple for a seeker. For a seeker. So there are unattended areas of our life because of millions of impressions are accumulated in the mind and we are stuck. That is the meaning, we are stuck. So the more greater the awareness, we are not stuck into that. And we continue to evolve. Beautifully said. How are you, Brandy?
Good, thank you. I'm still processing the lesson that you offered some iterations of some previous lessons that are always so useful for me, including, part of maturity is doing what you have to do without having any kind of reaction to it, And then also I like that, you go to Phoenix to go to the restaurant, right, for happiness. In fact, I would love to come to Phoenix right now. It's really cold where I am. For some restaurant happiness, but all seriousness, right? Applying the wisdom, like Girish said, at any time to everything that we do. And my meditation was really deep today. I don't want to come out.
Good. Very good, Brandy. You see that what I mean, you have to put the wisdom into it. So I go to Phoenix to buy happiness. You come to Gilbert to buy happiness. It means the happiness have two locations. And it will continue to change the location. It means the happiness is not in the world outside. So happiness is within me. I have to work on it in my daily life. Oh, there's your student, reacts. Oh, happiness is not there. You have already gone to the student to buy your happiness. You have to apply that. So when we apply that, we find, nothing. The same thing what the Jerry said in our relationship. Maybe 20 years back impression is there in the mind and it haunts you. So the moment you look at someone close to you, it haunts you. Wisdom is required there also. Eastern wisdom, I told you, is an instrument of knowledge to help us to realize the real self. Nothing more, nothing less. How are you, Christina?
Thank you. The equation today really hit home because I again was like, I miss so much. And the moment I think, oh, I've got this, then I realize how much I've missed. So that's what I noticed today.
Yes. That is a good point in that, because if your mind thinks how much I miss, it will inspire you to continue the journey and to reach to that state. And at least one thing we are missing yet, the real self, the last point. How are you, Vaibhav?
Thank you, sir. Sir, practice was calm. And with that equation that 1 plus 1 is 1. So what I was just thinking at that the happiness and peace, what is inside me, is exactly the same as the happiness and peace is with anybody else.
Yeah.
So the location of happiness which is inside me is same as the anybody else's. So that way it means one only.
So it means it is an essence. The space inside the house and space outside the house. Are there two spaces? No. But I see them, there are two spaces. How I see them? Because of lack of wisdom. I see the location of happiness and wisdom at two places. I gave you an example, Phoenix and Gil. It is not possible. But those people who believe that it is 100% possible, they belong to the category, they are also successful. They belong to the category of Elon Musk and Bill Gates. So I don't want to attend your session. I want to be Elon Musk. Please go. So that is, yeah, that is also, yes, it is possible. But they have found the happiness somewhere else. How are you, Terry?
I really liked the lesson, although that's like and dislike. So who cares whether I liked it?
Yes, 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 yes.
But
Yeah,
I
yeah.
always want to ask, and then I never ask. What is a contemplation the same thing as reflection?
Yeah,
Are they
reflection means that, contemplation means that you get the essence from the principle. The reflection means that how that essence is being applied in daily life. I reflect. So reflect in my life whether I live in that wisdom or not. That is a practical application. A contemplation is that I'm still contemplating and now I'm 100% clear. 1 + 1 is 1. So now you look at me, so 1 + 1 appears 1, you have reflected on it. You have already applied. But still 1 + 1 is 2, so that reflection part is not applied. Take it in a very simple, logical and mathematical way. So yes, we will continue our journey in our next session. Thank you very much. We'll meet
Thank you,
again.
sir. Thank you, sir.
Namaste.